They do call him Black Jesus.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I would never call him that.
That's disgusting. If you eat,
No.
if you eat Hershey's bar for fun, you like golf balls in your mouth.
Really weird. So, I'm a really simple guy when it comes to women. What is wrong with you?
I ask myself that every day.
I don't know what the hell happened from the series before to the series with the Celtics.
It's my biggest conversation, and I hope we go viral with this one.
Princess in the Frog.
You're drunk. You should not be drinking. You should not be drinking this early in the day, bro.
Buddy, I still got 30 minutes. I start drinking.
Good morning and welcome to Gumball Sports Machine, where we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive. Welcome back to the show on this beautiful Monday morning. Very interesting weekend. A lot going on this weekend, and alongside, of course, my co-host got a triple OG Tone. Tone, what's crack-a-lacking? Man, to say it was a crazy weekend, I think is an understatement. There was a lot going on this weekend. That's for sure. And one of those things going on last night in the Sunday night football game, that monster of a human being, Saquon Barkley, goes off for 302 total yards, 255 yards rushing, and of course the dominant win over the Rams, which I love to see in LA. But with Saquon's performance last night, Tone, should he be right now? So I saw a stat this morning. Going into that game last night, he was 60 and his odds to win the MVP was 60-1. This morning, as we speak, as we do this show, his odds to win the MVP are 6-1.
Dang.
Yeah.
So one performance, that's crazy.
That's one hell of a performance. So what I do want to ask you is, should he be the MVP front runner, especially after his performance last night?
I'd have to say yeah. I haven't seen anybody thus far have an outstanding performance as such. I believe he broke a record, a Philadelphia record last night. And then he's been real consistent thus far. I mean, we were just having a conversation about Jalen being in the MVP rankings, and you argued that he was only doing as well because of Saquon's consistency. So, and then last night probably took him over the hump, man. I haven't seen anybody have a performance like that. We named about 4 or 5 people last week.
We talked about probably 4 or 5 people in that race, and that
was an outstanding performance last night. And it's the love that he was getting, man, even made it just even better. But I thought that has a major contribution to the actual game. But it was nice to see. It was dope. But I'd have to say yes. He's got some highlights this year, and he's got some performances, especially last night. That was crazy. That was bananas, man. He was just doing what he wanted.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was a ridiculous performance, first of all. But even when we talked about it last week, you had brought up Jalen Hurts, who has been playing pretty well this season. But then even after we thought about it for a little bit, I told you, I was like, I think Saquon might be a little bit further in the MVP race than Jalen is, just because of what he's been able to do. And so because of that, and obviously yesterday he goes off again, 255 total yards, which is 9th in NFL history in terms of rushing yards in a single game. Now, obviously, Adrian Peterson has that feat with 296 rushing yards in a single game, but he had 2 touchdowns and probably should have had another one if he didn't get tired. But now he went and gave Kenneth Gainwell that other touchdown, but he was ridiculous last night. 2 70+ yard touchdowns in the second half. He is the first player to ever accomplish that feat. He has been ridiculous this year. He has taken this Philadelphia Eagles offense to a completely another level, because even when they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago or 3 years ago, wherever, 2 years ago, they didn't have this facet of the game. They weren't able to run the ball as well as they are right now. And Saquon, now the Giants, I think the right move was to not sign him because the Giants are going nowhere. And you saw that yesterday, it was terrible. But I think it was the right move for the Giants. But now the Giants are, but now they're gonna have to play Saquon twice a year for the next 4 or 5 years at least. And you see what he's done to the rest of the league. Yeah, Saquon was ridiculous last night. I think the best single game performance this year so far by any player. The only thing in terms of MVP race, I think right now I probably have him third. Because right now he's on pace. He's on pace for 2,151 rushing yards, which would break Barry Sanders' all-time record. So, and if you were to do that, I think just Amazon Prime the MVP award to his house, because nobody else is getting it. Because nobody else is getting it. So, I think as of right now, I think I'd only have Lamar and Josh Allen ahead of him in terms of MVP race, but nobody other than that.
Yeah, I'd say maybe Josh. Lamar, I'm a big fan of Lamar, but I've just seen him have subpar, games compared to himself, not compared to a lot of other quarterbacks, but compared to himself. Some of the games I've seen Lamar have, I'm like, man, come on, Lamar, you could have played better. Saquon's been pretty consistent. Like you said, he's on pace to break a record, which is crazy. I heard one of the commentators last night say that, similar to what you just said, is that he's made their offense just taking them to another level. But I also think there's a contribution to the defense, because having someone like Saquon allows them, he's taking time with the football. Their time of possession has gone up, and so that allows the defense to get rested and then to come back full strength. So, yeah, that team is going to be pretty scary come the playoff time.
Yeah, that's a team nobody wants to face. Nobody wants to. Now, I don't think they're going to get the bye because of how well Detroit is playing and what the Lions are doing right now. So I don't think they're going to get the bye. But again, it's hard to dispute that they're not the second best team in the NFC right now, because like you just mentioned it, their running game is comparable to Detroit's just because of 26. That's the biggest thing. 26 had been a life changer for the Eagles. And it's impressive to see what he's doing and what he's been able to do to that offense. But like you also said, the Eagles have one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, these young corners that they have played outstanding. You have Cooper DeJean, who from Iowa. He was one of the best corners, if not the best corner, rated to come out of this draft. And the fact that they got him in the second round is kind of crazy to me. But they also got Quinyon Mitchell, who's also played out of his mind this year. Now, they lost Darius Slay last night. He looked pretty banged up. He got a concussion. That didn't look too pretty. First of all, as a corner.
Helmet?
Huh?
Was that helmet to helmet? That looked,
yeah.
Woo, he tried to get up and he fell back.
Couldn't get up. Oh, well, okay. Let me okay. I never played football. I never played tackle football. As a corner, I am not he went into him. Darius Slay put his head down and tried to.
I'm going for the legs.
Yeah.
And they were right on the sideline too. I'm like, why are you trying to tackle him? Yeah, it was crazy.
Push him out of bounds. What that was now from Darius. Now, obviously, I'm hoping and praying that he's all right, but that was just not a smart play. Darius Slay is not a spring chicken either. Darius Slay, I think, is 32 or 33, and in cornerback years, that's old. I mean, he still played well, but yeah, that's
yeah, I don't want to see him when you think about old school versus new school, how our players really never flopped back in the 80s and the 90s as far as basketball wise. Football is crack 'em sport. They want the fans want to see crack. You want to see it hit hard. But it's a new day and age, man. Save your body, save your mind, save your soul. Don't do the helmet action is crazy. And then again, if he's on the sideline, push that man out of bounds, man.
Yeah, because think about it. The Rams tight end he's okay. But who's more important to lose? Who's going to hurt more? The Eagles losing Darius Slay or the Rams losing their backup tight end?
Yeah.
And that's just things you got to think about. But
think
yeah,
about his family gonna care about them if they actually get hurt, man.
that too. Like, and he's a family man. Like, but he usually doesn't ever do things like that. But I don't know if he was just, I don't know. He might have been on one of them sparks. You know what I mean? Like, he might have been on some,
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how that old school, new school mentality. Them older dudes, they want to hit you hard. They want everybody to remember that hit. It's a new day and age, man. Say your mind, body, and soul. Flop if you got to.
I honestly, so I do a lot of flopping. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I get into high school, I'm trying to draw every foul possible because I'm not jumping over anybody. I'm not dunking on anybody. So I'm trying to draw every single foul I can.
Watching the Marcus Smart rule book.
Oh my goodness, that one. But I think funny enough, I think it was Dwayne Wade who had the worst flop I've ever seen. I think like somebody touched him and he just like, or it might have been Dwayne Wade, or he might have actually like committed the foul. But yeah, that was wild. That was wild. But real quick, where would you rank the Eagles in the NFC right now, Tone?
That's a tough one. Yeah, like you said, I think I still got the Lions ahead of them. I might have them right behind them. That's tough. You don't put me on the spot like that. Yeah, the Lions are still tough, man. And I call them the baby Pat, so I might be a little biased.
Oh, see, there you go.
Gotta show some type of support for my guys. We are playing a little trash right now for the rest of the season for us.
Oh, so y'all got us here in a few weeks.
Man. I think Drake is coming along.
He slowly but surely. I mean, there's just some things that he can't do. The play that he threw the pick on yesterday. Now, was it a great play by the Miami defensive lineman? It was, but that's still just a throw you can't make. You can't make that. That you got to throw that ball out of bounds. You have to chuck it out of bounds.
Hopefully, he's learning from his mistakes, and next year will be a better year. We get some receivers for him.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you guys are able to get either a receiver or offensive lineman for him, I think that'll be life-changing. But until then,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC right now. I think the Eagles are closer second than I think a lot of people believe. But yeah, the Eagles, they play almost like the Lions in terms of how physical they are. They are a physical football team. That defensive line that Philly has with Jalen Carter and Brandon Graham, they just lost him for the year, which sucks. But with Jalen Carter and why am I blanking? Jordan Davis and Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, who played really well last night. That is a physical offensive line, and if you put that with Nakobe Dean, who's finally starting to come along, their young linebacker, and then their secondary is not terrible. They have Reed Blankenship, and like I mentioned, the two young corners, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. That defense is a problem, and so if they could play complementary football, man, we're gonna be looking for a very, very good NFC Championship game here come January.
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I think that goes back to what I've mentioned before, man. Some teams, like, they represent the city and their characteristics. And Philly, Detroit, like, those are some of those teams. Like, sometimes Chicago is just hard-nosed, that blue collar, they represent for those people in those towns. And yeah, they're doing it right now.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And Philly's a nasty city.
The basketball team isn't doing it quite well, but
yeah, their basketball team isn't quite as nasty, but or actually it is nasty, but in the the actual meaning of the term. Yeah. They came out with the win, but we'll talk about them. These Kansas City Chiefs are starting to worry me a little bit, Tom. They're really starting to worry about it. They're really starting to worry me. They squeaked by
the Panthers. Come on, man.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Well, okay. So they squeaked by the Panthers, right? 30-27 with the last second field goal. They're really starting. The offense is starting to finally come along. The defense allowed 27 points to the Panthers. Now, Bryce Young has played decent as of late, but the defense is doing things that they're not, or at least yesterday, they're doing things that they're not usually accustomed to doing. Trent McDuffie didn't play very well yesterday. He's getting past interference plays. His coverage isn't as sharp as it usually is. The secondary didn't look nearly as good as they have been all year. Chris Jones was quiet yesterday. Like they have not looked nearly as good as they should be, or they have been all year. And especially yesterday against the Panthers, that's a game that should not even be close. The offense looked better. Pat Mahomes didn't turn the ball over, which was nice to see. Finally, thank you. He didn't turn the ball over. But so like I told you, he makes plays when he absolutely has to have these plays made. That 33-yard run at the end of the game, right, to get them in field goal range, huge play. So a play that they absolutely needed, a play that led them to winning the game. So, first of all, I think one thing that we've already found out: do not let the Chiefs have the ball last. If the Chiefs have the ball last, start the buses. So if the Chiefs have the ball last, it's over. Secondly, again, that Panthers defense isn't very good. They're just not very good. They have some pieces. Jadeveon Clowney had a great day yesterday. He had a great game yesterday. And Tone, let me tell you, that offensive line has problems. Now, they went out and signed DJ Humphries, who was a first-round pick from the Cardinals, who they released last year. He's coming off a torn ACL, but hopefully he's able to come back healthy and help the offensive line. But that offensive line is probably my biggest worry of the entire team right now.
Do you think there's any contribution to you? You know how after certain teams win championships, everyone comes out and wants to give their best shot at those teams. But do you just think the Chiefs haven't gotten it rolling?
I think that's what it is, because like you said, the Chiefs are going to get everybody's best shot. They're going to get everybody's best shot because they are the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. They are, they do have the greatest quarterback of all time in some people's eyes. But if they
and like Travis Kelce and the coach, like only in you three people's eyes is he the best ever.
Okay, you know what? You bring up Travis Kelce. So watching that game yesterday and watching the game in these past few weeks, I'm not so sure Travis Kelce's the tight end one anymore. Noah Gray has played out of his mind these past few weeks. He has 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. He is making plays. He's doing what Travis Kelce usually does. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing what we usually expect from Travis Kelce. And
he's in his Klay Thompson era.
Travis Kelce, I think, is in his Klay Thompson era. It sucks to say, but I think he's in his Klay Thompson era because, again, he's making plays that Travis Kelce usually makes, and he's made all of his career. And Travis Kelce just hasn't been able to make those same plays. Now, he had a decent day yesterday, Travis Kelce. He had a decent day, but I seriously doubt. I'd have to look up his stats so far this year, but I seriously doubt that Travis Kelce is going to get to 1,000 yards this year. That's just what it is. That's just.
Man, that's very unlike him. Or maybe teams are just because I haven't seen it. I like he doesn't look like he has the same speed. Maybe he lost his legs from doing some other stuff off the field.
Yeah, man, what's up with that? What him and Swifty got going on? I'm telling you, Tone. He might need one of them sparks. As Shannon Sharp like to say, he might need one of them. He might need one of them to get something going because this ain't it.
We're gonna hear that she's got a June bug coming on the way soon. Watch.
Imagine Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift having a kid. Nasty work. Nasty. Yeah, he has 569 yards this year. And he's averaging a career low 8.4 yards a catch. And right now, so far in the year, he has 2 touchdowns. Once again would be a career low. He has a career low in almost every stat. He's in a career low.
He's waiting for the playoffs.
He better be. He better be. Because this is awful. Like he is. Again, he's in a career low. He's on pace for a career low in yards, in yards per catch, in touchdowns, in first downs. Like this is
Gronk would have retired.
Yeah, you know what? Gronk retired at the right time. Well, Gronk was also injury riddled.
And Gronk was still putting up numbers until he retired. So,
what numbers he put up his last year?
Not the last year, but the year before.
No, you said until he retired. What numbers he put up his last year?
We all know Travis Kelce's not retiring this year, so he's gonna have like 2 or 3 years of inconsistencies.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I think again because of the quarterback and the chemistry him and his quarterback had, I don't think Travis Kelce will ever be awful. Like I don't think he'll be like bad, but
all he has to do is show up in the playoffs. If he shows up in the playoffs, then no one will remember this year.
Yeah, if he does, and because that's kind of what happened to Patrick Mahomes last year. He didn't have a very good year in the regular season, and then in the playoffs took off. He flipped the switch. Yeah. So, but. Tony, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Where right now, this I think this is a little bit more tricky question, but or tricky part. Right now, where would you put the Chiefs in the AFC?
Yeah, that is a tricky one, man. That's real tricky. Put me on the spot for that one. That's rough, man. That's rough. I definitely don't. I don't have them at the top. And what do they have? They have the best record, right, in the AFC still.
Right now, yeah, they only have 1 loss, and I think that is the best record in the AFC.
Yeah. Oh man. Let me see. I still wouldn't put. It's like I feel like I gotta put. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to put Buffalo ahead of them because they don't. But I feel like they have more. They just look better, man. Honestly, it's not like Josh has looked better. Yeah, they just look better. I guess I'd put them second because I wouldn't give Pittsburgh the upper hand in that conversation either. I'd solely give Buffalo. So I put them at number 2, even though they have the best record.
Behind Buffalo? Yeah. I think I'm in agreement with you. I think I put Buffalo number 1. They just look the best. Now they're on a bye week this week, but Buffalo just looks the best. I put Buffalo number 1. I put Kansas City 2.
If the playoffs started tomorrow and they had to play each other, who would you pick?
Kansas City.
Is that solely on your bias? Or?
No, well, I mean, now I would be rooting for Kansas City, but I think the flip. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is and or where it is. But there's a flip. There's a switch somewhere in the building. There's a switch somewhere in the building, or maybe even somewhere in Patrick Mahomes' house that you walk up to it. It's like just like cutting the lights on. The lights are off right now, Tone. I'm not gonna lie to you. The lights are off.
His father calls his phone and has that conversation with him.
Yeah.
Lights the cigar up. Listen, Patty. Listen,
Hey, you know what? You know Lil Wayne, as soon as in his songs, as soon as you hear that lighter flick, that's what it is. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's his switch, because he just walks up to it and says, playoff time. I'm ready to go. And he's done it the past 3 years. Now, he won the MVP in 22 and then went on to win a Super Bowl. But last year, again, he had to flip that switch quickly because he was not good in the regular season. Not good.
I think there's a lot of great players that do that. I mean, you can look at LeBron. After LeBron hit year 10, he wasn't trying to put up like the same numbers in the regular season that he was in the playoffs. The playoffs, it was always a difference. And then, you know, Patty Mahomes is probably just comfortable with mediocre success for, you know, on his level. His level of success for other people is their careers. And then, you know, like you said, he hits that switch in the playoffs and he's a whole different monster.
Oh, absolutely. Especially because, like, he has 2 MVPs already. And LeBron's best season in the regular season was, or since his last MVP, which was what, 2014? He's had 1 amazing regular season. And that was in 2018. Aside from that, I don't think he really cares about too much about the regular season.
It's all about health. Just stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. It is. It honestly is. So if you're healthy going into the playoffs, especially the caliber of player that Patrick Mahomes and LeBron are, you don't exactly need to, you know, play your best in the regular season. So, but yeah, right now, right, I would agree with you. In terms of in ranking in the AFC, I'd go Kansas City 1. I mean, no, Buffalo 1, Kansas City 2. And I'd probably put Pittsburgh at 3 just for right now, because they did just beat Baltimore, but they also just lost to the Browns. Now, Baltimore and Pittsburgh have both lost to the Browns, but right now I think I'd put Pittsburgh and then Baltimore. So it'll be interesting to see how the season closes out. But just real quickly, this happened over the weekend. Tone, we talked about it last week with the report of Tyrese Maxey calling out Embiid for being late and, you know, just not really caring too much. Turns out Joel Embiid was upset about that leak report about him being called out, and he kind of minimalized it, saying, "Oh, it was really only like 30 seconds and it wasn't a lot." Why are you upset about why are you upset about that meeting being leaked? And again, okay, actually, I'll start with this. If he's so upset about it, it means it's true.
Definitely.
That's what it means. That's what it means. It's true. And so, because you're so upset about it, and it is true, you're doing nothing about it. And let's not pretend like, oh, just because it's coming out right now, this is the first time he's being late. Because they were winning. They were a good basketball team last year and the year before that. And the year before that. They were a good basketball team. He was the MVP. So nobody's going to call him out for being late, because he's averaging 35 or 33 and 12, and they're winning games, and they're getting into the playoffs, and they're winning rounds in the playoffs. So nobody's going to say anything to them then. Nobody's going to say anything to Joel Embiid then. But now that you're losing, now that you're 2-13, now that he's really, really not playing games, and now that he's not playing back-to-backs, and now all these things are piling up, now you want to call out Joel Embiid, which I believe is the right move. And Tony, you said it too the other day, but let's not pretend like this is just starting now. Because if he's upset about it now and it's just being leaked, this has been happening for a long amount of time. It just has. That's the way the world works. That's the way the human nature works. And so now that they're losing, it's emphasized that he needs to be on time and he needs to be a part of the team. It's just, it is what it is. And so now he was upset that, you know, it was leaked. Now, Joel Embiid has already had a problem with the reporter this year. He pushed the reporter and he got suspended 3 games for it. Again, Let's not pretend like this is just happening now. He's just being called out now because of how bad the team is doing. They've been awful.
Terrible. No, I agree. I do think that this is something that's. I mean, even I think Pete Bev. I think we heard a little clip from Pete Bev saying that this used to happen when he was there. They would have conversations about why it's taking him so long. He's like, "Man, I live 2 hours away. It takes time to get prepared." And it's like, "Well, bro, move. You got millions of dollars." But he does seem like a little bit like a spoiled brat. I'd assume some is deserved when you're an MVP, I guess. But some players are built differently. They're natural born leaders, and they know that everyone else has eyes on them, and the way that they contribute outside of the actual games and practices is going to also help players focus. They've got a couple young guys over there too. They do have some other vets. They got Drummond over there, but you can tell that he's the biggest leader in a sense, and he's not leading. He's not leading with professionalism. He's definitely not leading with his play right now because he's not playing every game. It's honestly sad to see. I actually seen a clip this morning because you know how Twitter goes. When you're the man, they're dropping all your highlight clips, and then when you flop, they're showing all your lowlights. Everyone except for Tatum, they just love dogging on my boy on Twitter. It's crazy. But yeah, I seen a clip, a low light clip of Embiid literally stepping on people, tripping people. I'm like, damn, this is crazy to have. Like, you don't really hear these stories when people are having success. But as soon as they're down, I'm like, man, I've never seen this clip. This is nonsense. Like, how? I don't like when superstars are acting like that, man. That's nasty work, man. It almost looks like he's trying to hurt people. They just don't look like basketball plays. We had a conversation last week about when Tatum reached on Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan said it was a basketball play, but it wasn't real Jason Tatum-like. If Jason Tatum had a highlight clip or a low light clip of doing that to 15 to 20 people, it'd be on pay-per-view. And this is just crazy to me that you got people like Giannis, you got people like Embiid, you got people who almost have these Ron Artest like low light clips, and you don't even see them until these type of moments. And I'm like, man, I don't like when superstars have stuff like that. That's not cool, man.
No, and again, talent-wise, he is absolutely a superstar. Like we both mentioned, he has won an MVP. He's been a fantastic basketball player in this league. But there's a reason why you haven't won anything. There's just is. Because of the mentality that he carries. You know how much of a fan I've been of Joel Embiid. I've continuously called him a top 3 basketball player in the world.
Yeah, and I've disagreed every time you said it.
Which is okay. Well, now it kind of helps your case. But the thing with me is like that's like mentality. Now, in terms of talent, any day, there's maybe 2 people I'm taking in the league over him. But what's the cliche saying, Tone? When hard work or when talent fails to work hard work beats talent every single time.
But I do, not to cut you off, but that mentality argument. One, nephew brought it up on, I think it was the first cast that I showed up on. And then, you know how some people of like more or less my generation put Kobe over LeBron. They definitely put Mike over LeBron, but
Nasty word.
Kobe over LeBron. That comes from the mentality. You know, if you look at skill set, I don't even understand how you could pick Kobe over LeBron. It's more or less the mentality. And mentality, it's a part of the game. It's a part of who you are and your character and what you bring to the table. And Joel Embiid seems too playful. The conversation we had 2 weeks ago about Giannis being too playful. As soon as he hit that switch, he turned his playfulness off. He was going for 30, 40 every other night for the past 2 weeks.
Right.
Embiid, it just seems like he's oh so nonchalant about the game in certain aspects. And again, like you said, I don't think he's gonna have the level of success people expect him to have because of his mentality.
No, absolutely not. Because guys like your boy Jason Tatum. There's a reason why he won a championship last year. Now, again, obviously I knock him all the time and kind of, but there's no denying his work ethic. He's the last one in the gym and the first one in. He's working out at all times. He takes care of his body. He eats right. He does all these things in order for him to go win and be successful. Joel Embiid does not. Now, it's not just him. It's not just him. I do want to make that very clear. It's not just him.
Now you got to hold that organization accountable.
Absolutely, because
bad business throughout the years.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Mainly because one, again, they didn't say anything to him when it was working, when you were winning.
Yeah, they allowed him to go play in the USA's, knowing he wasn't 100%, which made no sense.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Now, again, I always bring him up, but Shannon Sharp, once again, you don't accept anything in a win you wouldn't in a loss.
It's a good saying.
So when Joel Embiid is doing all this dumb stuff, not eating right, and being late to meetings,
scratching his ass at the free throw line,
just to try and be funny, and you're 2-13,
that's nasty work. That's nasty work. They should be booing that man. Like, who does that? Shoots a free throw. Like, what is someone said it was an unconscious reaction.
It's just that's like that, but that's the problem. Like, it's you're letting him do all these things when you're winning, but you're not even winning. You're just playing well, and because when you get to the playoffs, it just shrinks. And it's unfortunate to watch, and it's unfortunate to see what he's doing because he is so immensely talented. I mean, this guy is 7'2", probably weighs about 300 pounds. He is dominant when he wants to be. He can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot the three. He is a 3-level scorer at 7'2" and 300 pounds.
I think one of the problems is he's like a 55, 60 game player. And so the organization obviously has to figure out a way to balance that many games. Because, I mean, one, I just don't think it's good to tell people. But, I mean, they have to do something because you can't just say, oh, yeah, he's taking a day off today. But he doesn't seem like he can play all 82 and then be the same player in the playoffs. So, yeah, they have to have, I don't know, some conversation. I think that's what Philly's in trouble with now, but they have to have a balance. They got to find somebody else. Didn't they have Mo Bamba over there for a second?
Yeah, they had Mo Bamba, and they had I think now Mo is in LA. I think he's playing for the Lakers. The Clippers, I think.
Clippers, yeah. I
think he's playing for the Clippers. But yeah, they had Mo Bamba, and they had another big over there. Obviously, now they have Drummond. But
yeah, Drummond's good. I would say Drummond's bad. He's just not. I don't think he's fit for 2024 basketball. No. Everyone's picking and popping, and the other bigs are super athletic, which he no longer is. I feel like they need another component to pick up the slack when he's slacking.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Tyrese Maxey just came back and he's healthy again, and he's played all right. Jared McCain is playing. Here's the thing with Jared McCain. He has played well. He's played well. Sometimes I worry about how, I guess I don't exactly worry about it, but like, I understand you want to have your own brand. You want to build your own brand. That shouldn't come before basketball. And there's also morals when it comes to playing professional sports and playing professional basketball, to be specific. They got blown out by somebody. I think that was the game, the Miami game where they got beat up really badly. I think either the day before, the day before or after that, he posts a video about, my first NBA Cup game, which he played really well in. But that should not be your focus after you lose to Miami.
Yeah, the balance. There's got to be a balance, and that the side of the social media side should be a lot lower than the NBA.
Yeah, it honestly should. It has to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want to. I couldn't imagine him playing for the Celtics. We just wouldn't. That wouldn't work.
No, a storied organization like that, and then to be going out doing TikTok dances and posting YouTube videos and.
Well, Jaylen Brown used to do similar things, but it's all about timing, like you said, and then the balance. You've got to be contributing for months, a year, 2 years before you think that we're gonna want you to be focused on building your brand.
Right.
Like you got to be a part of this brand first, and then do that. There's got to be an expectancy of success first before you push this social media frenzy of fun.
Has to be.
How are you having fun? You're supposed to be upset.
Like your team is 2-13, and you are having fun.
No good.
Some things I just don't understand, and it just happens to be one of them. So,
I'm glad it's happening in Philly, and not a town like mine.
Or mine, actually, at this point in time. So that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, we do have to talk about it. But finally lost, Tone. After a month, the Cardinals finally lose. They lose to Seattle in Seattle. 6-16. The offense looked absolutely just at a standstill. The defense looked fantastic. They only gave up 10 points. The defense did. Now that other 6 came from the pick 6 that Kyler Murray threw. But
that was the only touchdown?
That was no, they had 2 touchdowns. They had 2 touchdowns.
No. Was that hit? Oh, then they missed the extra point?
Yeah.
Nasty work.
Yeah, because the Seahawks did a celebration and they moved the kickback 15 yards and they mixed the PAT.
I was talking about Kyler threw one. Kyler threw a touchdown.
Oh no,
that's what I was saying. Was that Kyler's only touchdown for the day?
Oh, see, there you go. You ain't no good. You let that man live. He's played well for 4 straight weeks. You let that man live. See, there you go.
Nope, not gonna do it.
See that?
Not gonna do it. I get all types of messages when my guys play subpar. I gotta do it.
Oh no, hold on. That's just Boston. I ain't never text you about the Patriots. The Patriots are terrible. But
there's no point in texting me about the Pats right now. Although I did ask you if you was watching the Pats game yesterday, and you said, "Hell no." Nah. I was like, "Damn."
I do precisely remember that, and that is the exact answer I gave. Absolutely not will I be watching a New England Patriots game unless they're playing the Arizona Cardinals. But you know what, Tone? I got a bunch of stuff to get off my chest about this game, but I'll let you take off first on this game. What was it? You know what? I'll ask you first. After watching this game yesterday and looking and seeing how they played, do you think the 4-game win streak that they are just coming off of was a fluke?
No, I don't. I mean, Seattle's a tough place to win in, regardless of your record. I'll say that. In the past, it's been tough for the Patriots to win in Seattle, so I actually understand that component. I do think that you guys have been pretty consistent. Yesterday was unlike Kyler. I will say I didn't really watch a lot of that game. I did watch some of the lowlights. But yeah, it seemed unlike Kyler, and I'd imagine you and all the other Arizonians are hoping that he snaps back into shape because you're coming up on the final weeks, and like you said, you need that switch, man. You need that switch. I do think he is taking himself out of the MVP circle, though. With yesterday's performance, he is no longer in that group of gentlemen.
For now.
Yeah, he's got to have one of those performances to like a real performance, because you got to think the top three, obviously Saquon, Josh, and
Lamar. I'll probably go Lamar.
more likely top three. He's not catching any of them.
No.
Probably at all, anyways. And then just to get his name back in that hat, you got to have one of those performances, like the way Saquon just went from probably third or fourth to first. So in order for him to get back into that hat, he's got to have, 400-yard day, 3 touchdowns, maybe a rushing one. He's got to have one of those games.
Okay, pertaining to that conversation, I think Kyler's still 6th or 7th in the MVP race. I think those guys you mentioned. I think I'd go Josh, Lamar, Saquon. I think I'd go Jared Goff at 4. I think I'd go Derrick Henry at 5, and then I think I'd go Kyler Murray at 6.
You still have him over Jalen. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's just nonsense.
Absolutely. Because of what Saquon has done. Because strictly of what Saquon has done.
Wow.
Saquon has put that team on his back. Put the offense on his back.
And it's still balling. For them to be giving the ball that much to Saquon and Jalen to still outperform Kyler is crazy.
I think Kyler has done more for his team than Jalen Hurts has done for his.
But Jalen's got a better record.
That's what I'm saying. But Jalen is not solely responsible for that record. I'm not saying Kyler is solely responsible, but if you're putting it on a pie chart, I think Kyler has the biggest percentage of why the Cardinals have that record. I don't think Jalen Hurts has the biggest percentage on that pie chart on why the Eagles have that record.
Wow. I think James would have something to argue with that.
Hey, listen, but here's the thing. Now, James Conner has been huge for that team. The defense has been good, but again, I don't think we're putting I don't think we're putting James Conner over Saquon Barkley, and I don't think we're putting the Cardinals defense
contribution to the Dubs. Like James has had some big plays in the fourth quarters at that too.
He has, absolutely, but again, Kyler is also he's made the plays when he absolutely needs to. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing with me. He's made the plays when he absolutely needs to. Now, yesterday he did not make any of those very certain plays that I'm talking about, that I'm mentioning. Absolutely not.
Unless he had some money on Seattle.
Unless he did have some money on Seattle, in which he needs to be suspended immediately. Put Clayton Tune in the game, and you know what? But Kyler, you know what? Hey, listen. If I know about Kyler, I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. Not on Kyler.
That's crazy. All the tattling that you said you've done throughout the years, but you're not going to tell on. You done told on your siblings, but you wouldn't tell on Kyler.
Absolutely not. I put my brother in jail before I put Kyler in jail.
Shame on you.
Absolutely. And I'll tell him to his face. His face virtually. He told I don't got hands. I can't fight. I'm not fighting. You know what I mean?
Distance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. I'll tell. Actually, no. I will tell him to his face. And if he does decide to put hands on me, guess where he going?
Tell him through the bars.
you doggone Skippy. You doggone right. Yeah.
Shame on you.
Yep. Look like a VHS tape, right through the bars.
Damn.
But no, reacting to this game yesterday. Listen, the Cardinals were not a fluke. Those 4 games that they won, yes, 2 of them were not very good teams. Well, I guess Chicago was playing well at the time. The Jets were awful. Miami is playing ridiculously well right now, and the Chargers are also playing really well right now. So,
Miami,
huh?
You didn't have to mention Miami.
Did they play a football team yesterday?
Wow.
Or was that a JV team that they played?
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I watched it, but I was like, dang, like they looks like they're playing. Looks like they're practicing. Are they practicing?
Shame on you. Shame.
I'm just saying. But no,
Jersey.
but reaction to the game yesterday, it was rough to watch. The offense couldn't get going. The defense once again impressed me a lot. The defense, they only gave up 1 touchdown, and that was really because of a miscommunication. Not even miscommunication. It was just a good play call against what the defense was running. The Cardinals were running cover 0. It was a very good play design. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a wide receiver screen. Again, cover 0. They're all going after Geno. Jackson Smith and Jigba gets loose, gets all the way down to the goal line. The Cardinals get them to 3rd and goal, but again, miscommunication on that last on 3rd and goal to get them in the end zone. But so the Cardinals defense played really well. On Friday, if you would have told me the Cardinals allowed 16 points to Seattle in Seattle, I'm telling you 10 times out of 10 they win that football game. Obviously, that's not what happened. The offensive line played its worst game of the season by far. By far. Kyler had no time in the pocket. They couldn't get anything going in the run game. Leonard Williams wrecked the entire game by himself. He had 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. He wrecked the entire game by himself. He looked like Aaron Donald out there. He looked like a Hawaiian version of Aaron Donald, and because he looked fantastic. And so he wrecked the game by himself on his own. Again, the worst offensive line performance by far so far this year. Paris Johnson Jr., his worst game of the year. Again, the Cardinals had 2 touchdowns called back. One, again, Paris Johnson Jr. got called for holding, touchdown in the end zone of Michael Wilson. That one got called back and ended up having to kick 3. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a catch on the goal line. Only got 1 foot down. It was a weird call, but I do tend to agree with the call. Only got 1 foot down, and again had to kick 3, which eventually mounted to those 6 points that you see on the screen right now. But I don't think it was a fluke. I think they're gonna come back, and I think they're gonna be fine next week. Kyler Murray did get a little nicked up towards the end of that game. I think it was a rib injury. I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to go to Minnesota. I think they're going to beat Minnesota. I think that they're going to come back home. They play Seattle again, and I think they're going to run over Seattle, put them under the bus, run them over, back up, run over them again, going on to their next game. I think they're going to destroy Seattle when they come here.
What makes you think that?
Because of the way the defense played. I think offensively that was an anomaly. That won't happen again. The way the defense played, they turned Geno over. Tone, what have I been saying? This defense has played really well, but the next step for this defense is to turn the ball over.
Yeah, better said the second time. Oh, you did say that. You said that about 3 weeks ago. You said that was the next step for your Cardinals, and yeah, they've taken small steps towards that direction.
Small. Again, I can't argue that. I can't argue. I see that little smirk on your face. I see it. I see the little smirk you got. But I do have to agree. They've taken small steps. Again, they turned Geno over once yesterday.
Goodness
which was
gracious.
Huh?
Pause.
Whoa. What do you mean pause?
You turned Geno over? What's going on?
See, there you go. You nasty. You might be on one of them sparks. You might be. What you got going on? You.
I'm just saying.
But
don't be men under the bus like that. It's crazy.
Back over him. No, run over him. Back over him. Run over him again on the way to the next game. That's what I think they're going to do to Seattle in 2 weeks when they come back here.
They better. You guys need to show some level of consistency, get headed toward the playoffs.
Yes, for sure. And I think Kyler will be fine. I think Kyler, again, he had no time. And the way the offensive line has played this year, which, again, I don't want to put the blame on him, but we got our right tackle back, Jonah Williams. We got him back this week. After we've missed him since week 1. Kelvin Beachum, the backup right tackle, has played since week 1. And it just so happened to be the worst offensive line performance of the entire year. Now, he didn't play great in the 20 snaps he played against Buffalo. He didn't play great. And he had an okay day yesterday. Paris Johnson really did not play well yesterday. Tristan Colon, the right guard, really didn't play well yesterday. So, again, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to go and beat Minnesota. I think they're going to turn Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is going to turn the ball over a few times. Although he did play well yesterday, Sam Darnold did play well yesterday against Chicago. But I think they're going to go into Minnesota and for the first time in over 50 years beat Minnesota in Minnesota.
50? Has it been really been 50 years? No.
I think it's actually been more than 50 years since the Cardinals have beat Minnesota in Minnesota. The Cardinals have beat Minnesota here in Arizona, but they have not beat Minnesota in Minnesota in more than 50 years. So I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to come back home and whoop Seattle, drag them around State Farm Stadium. And I think they'll be okay. But you know what? So let me ask you another question like this, man. After seeing what happened yesterday, the Seattle beating the Cardinals, 49ers getting destroyed by the Packers, although no Brock Purdy. NFC West, who should be the favorite right now to win the NFC West? And also, I forgot the Rams also getting bent over by Saquon.
That's a way to put it. NFC West. Let me see. That's man. That's the thing, though. I kind of still like the Rams, honestly. I know that they just lost. That's tough because I do believe that the Cardinals will get back in order. It'd be a toss-up for me between the Cardinals and the Rams. And the crazy thing is Seattle has the top record? Is that what that says?
They do. So right now they're tied with the Cardinals, but because they just beat the Cardinals, they do have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I honestly still like the Rams though.
Really?
I do. And I like Matthew, man. He's a lot like AR and Patty sometimes when I will say he's a turnover waiting to happen. But some of the throws he makes, I'm like, God damn, there's very few people who can throw the football like that.
Oh, absolutely. There was one throw he made last night to Puka Nacua and on a line, just a laser. I don't know if anybody else in the league, including Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I don't know if they're making that throw. That is a ridiculous throw. But the thing with Matthew Stafford is, now he didn't throw any yesterday, but he will throw you a couple.
Yeah,
you are just going to have to catch him. He's going to throw you a couple, but you're going to have to catch him. So,
I'd say the next 2 weeks are going to be real decisive on that conversation. It's going to iron that out.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think Seattle's good enough. I don't think if depending on how bad this Brock Purdy injury really is for San Francisco, I don't think they're going to have a chance to win. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be between the Cardinals and the Rams. So that's gonna be a very, very good race towards the end. But let's you know what, we're gonna talk about those Cardinals a little later in the week because they're gonna go in Minnesota and beat Minnesota. But that's another topic for another day. What I do want to get into is Tony, you sent me this list over the weekend, and I don't know if I've ever been more disgusted, or more like. I don't know if I've ever wanted to throw up more. Like, I don't think this ever been more of an inaccurate list. There was a list of NBA trios that are in the league this year. And this list was made recently, like within the past, when this was posted on the 21st. 21st was 4 days ago. So that was what, Thursday. Here are the top 5. No, I'll go top 6. Top 6. Mainly because, again, who they have at 6 is absolutely mind-boggling.
Who's that one?
At 1, Devin Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal.
No, that's not the list I seen.
No, that should be the correct list.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, that should be the correct list. No, at 1, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White.
Oh, no, that's the list. That's the one.
That's who they have. Let's see. Yeah, see, you know what? No, that's all right. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, because you're up right now. It's okay. I'll admit it. You're up right now. You're up right now.
Hey, Derek White changed the game for us, man.
He did.
I'm not gonna lie. That man been performing out there. He's hitting really well. Buckets in every quarter. You know, we'll be on a landslide, miss 6 shots in a row. Derek White come up with a clutch 3, clutch bucket, clutch stop. Derek White is changing the game for us. Between him, my man PP, and old ass Al.
See, there you go. Why do you keep calling that man PP? I understand that's
he called himself it. It was crazy to me. So he was mic'd up. Sorry to sidetrack, but he was mic'd up like a game or two after our cast, and someone asked him for a pair of the Jaylen Browns. He was like, "Man, I need me a pair of them Jaylen Browns." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna look into that for you, but you need the PP editions." And I was like, "Let's go!" You must be watching the cast.
You got too excited over PP. I just want to point that out.
Crazy.
I'm just saying.
Now I gotta call Payne Pritchard because that just sounded crazy.
You know, I hope you call him Pritchard because PP. Listen,
that's those are his initials, man. JB, JT, D Dub, PP.
Jaylen Brown. That's his PP.
No. I said D Dub, and then
I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to pick up what you're putting down. So that's all I'm trying to do.
Hey, do you need a pair of PP editions?
I don't need nothing PP. That's what I don't need anything that has anything to do with PP. I don't. That's I'll tell you what I don't need. I need a lot of things. I'll tell you one thing that I don't.
I tell you, if you play for the Suns, you feel differently.
If I play for the Suns, I call that man Peyton. that's you know what I'm saying. That's I don't know what y'all got going on, over there in Boston in the Garden. But
he's the pea shooter, man.
No, see, there you go. That's not bad. That's not pea shooter. That's not bad. Calling that man PP. That is a grown man, Tony. That you are wrong for that.
His initials are PP, man. Just calling him what his mama named him.
Or P squared. P squared.
Okay.
P squared. PP. My goodness.
All right. Back to the list, man.
At 1, they got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White. At 2, they got the Thunder's big 3. They got SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet.
Kind of crazy because Chet's out for 2 months, but I couldn't disagree. When healthy, they are likely.
When healthy, they're damn good. But like you said, Chet's going to be out for the next 2.5 months. At 3, they have Jokic, Jamal Murray, and AG.
No, again, one of them's not healthy, and Jamal Murray's been playing like ass.
He's been terrible this year. He's been awful, and Aaron Gordon is not that damn good to begin with.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm just keeping it a bean.
He was getting more consistent offensively, and I think it's more of his defensive prowess. Like, he's a big time defender, man. They played
absolutely
Lakers. He was on Braun. So,
absolutely.
If he's averaging 15 points, he's a problem. That's why it's not like he got to average 22. He averaged 15, does what he does on defense, 8 boards, 3
assists. But that's and the only offense he gets is usually
offensive rebounds,
and alley-oops.
Yeah.
He can't really create. That's my biggest thing with him. But again, Jokic has lots to do with that big 3. But number 4, they got Luka, Kyrie, and Derek Lively.
Yeah. That's the scratcher. They just put somebody else's name to contribute to what Luka and Kyrie bring to the game, and that's disrespectful that they even considered a trio.
I mean, I'd put PJ Washington in that before I put Derek Lively in there.
Or Clay. Like, Clay's there now.
Or Clay. But Clay.
Yeah,
I don't know. But number 5, they have Giannis, Dame, and Brook Lopez.
Again, they got to get their record straight. But again, I understand. They're just saying that those 3 individuals, I just don't think. Yeah, it's tough. Dame hasn't been consistent enough. I don't think that they belong there on the list. Not that they're not on the list. They don't belong there on the list.
No, absolutely not. I couldn't agree more. At number 6, Tony. At number 6, 6 of 30 teams. 6 of 30 NBA teams. They have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. What is their record, Tony?
That's crazy. 12 and 19. What is it?
The,
2
and 13. Or 3 and 13. That is their current record. This list was posted on November 21st of 2024, 4 days ago. Tony, it is November 25th. In what world? In what world? They haven't even played a game altogether. In what world are the Sixers big three, who are 3 and 13, the 6th best trio in the league?
You could say on paper, but on paper they haven't played, though. I don't know. Joel doesn't play back-to-backs. Paul George is wrapped in an ace bandage. And Tyrese Maxey is actually sponsored by Icy Hot right now, so I don't know.
He needs to disperse some of that around the team. He needs to start giving it out for free.
They should have put what's his name? McCain. They should have put McCain, and McCain for that. They definitely shouldn't be 6th. I already know where you're headed with this conversation, and I agree. First of all, the Suns should be top 5. They were what? 8 and 1?
8 and 1 when they all played.
Yeah. I'll never forget that because you remind me every basketball conversation that we have.
Sorry, it just, you know what? Now that you bring it up, it felt really good when you said it. Can you say it one more time what their record is as a big 3?
They were 8 and 1. They were 8
okay.
Now
I just want you to know, Tony, you just made my entire day. Just made my entire day.
I also want you to know, now that we're talking about your boys, I'm no longer wearing Suns gear for the rest of the year. The last time I did that, my Celtics lost. So I'm no longer doing that. No more Suns gear for the year. That's all put up until next season or the summer, until basketball's off. But yeah, I do think you guys belong in the top 5, if not top 3 of that list.
No.
So they just have unhealthy teams scattered throughout that list, and I don't know how you couldn't have those boys on there. That's kind of tricky to me.
This list is pathetic. Like this list is pathetic. The Pelicans trio that they have on here is Zion Williamson, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Murphy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody from Cali made that list and was like, "Yeah, we don't rock with the Suns like that." So,
it doesn't make any sense. And again, some of these big 3s that they have on here are not even part of the big 3s. Like they have Desmond Bane, and Triple J ahead of the Timberwolves. They have that 3 again ahead of the Lakers. They have that 3 ahead of the Suns, ahead of the Warriors. The Warriors are the number 1 seed in the West.
Yeah, I don't know who made that list, but they need a hand slap.
It's now NBA Central, not NBA Centel, not the troll account, but NBA Central made this.
And NBA Central, they come up with some good stuff sometimes, but that one, that's why I sent it to you too. I opened that up and I was like, this is gonna be fun.
This is like, what is going on? What this is not. Oh my gosh! I just. Some of the things that people, again, I'm going to bring him up again. I'm bringing him up because this is smart. Shannon Sharp said, you never realize how stupid somebody is until they open their mouth. If you never open your mouth, nobody ever knows how stupid you are. But you never find out how stupid somebody is until they open your mouth. NBA Central decided to open their mouth, and they open wide, and that now they just are dumb.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, man. Like, how you don't have the Lakers, Golden State? You got the premier teams in the West. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. And then, yeah, you got Philly at number. That's insane.
I mean, Philly at 6. Tony, their team is 3 and 13, and with their best player being late to meetings, and doing all this dumb stuff, and they still have him at 3. Paul George just got hurt again. The same knee, the same way.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's doing a dance move. I hate to laugh about somebody getting hurt, but yeah, that's someone has like a picture, a standstill photo of the injuries, and he's like his leg is jerking back. It looks crazy.
Looks like he's doing a Megan Thee Stallion move.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but thank you.
I'll just we keep it real on this show, like this. It looks. I'm not sure what he's doing, but what he is doing.
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to ask on the last cast, like, should Paul George just retire? Like, is it time?
It'd be interesting. Like it would be really, because he can't stop getting hurt. He can't stop getting hurt.
Yeah, I think I was watching Gil's Arena, and Brandon Jennings was like, man, some of these older players got to get out the way. Like sometimes there's usually like a 2 to 3 year window when players get kind of old, and it's like they're taking up time for some of these younger players to develop. And like the organization needs to have a conversation. I mean, you look at Rusty, you look at what Melo did. There's certain players that actually take that step back and take less time, a lesser role, so that the younger players can develop. And if you still love the game, you'll understand. Because there was probably a time period where they were going through the same situation, and you got players that really need to grow, and so that they can be the leaders of this next generation of basketball. And we want to see a good product as fans of the game. We want to enjoy the game while we watch it. And these players can't grow and learn the game quick enough. They need the experience. And players like Paul George, I mean, he's been hurt so that somebody else is playing. But even when he's healthy, he doesn't seem to be performing to Paul George standards. So it just seems like it might be time.
It might be, and it sucks to see, some of these players that, I was gonna say but I grew up watching. I know your favorite player growing up was Bob Cousy.
Hey, I'm still fans of the younger generation. I've watched them all. I just happened to have watched stuff when you weren't on Earth yet.
I know. Yeah, I was just your favorite player was who, Bob Cousy growing up? Maybe a little Billy Cunningham.
Wow. Yeah, I did go to the Dave Cowens camp. Shout out Dave Cowens.
No, but in all seriousness, it sucks to see like some of the players that we watch grow up, like Paul George, and you mentioned Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, them going from team to team to team, especially the guys who haven't won a championship. Those 3 guys specifically that I mentioned, trying to go win a championship and then also not playing at the highest level they probably should be. Now, Chris Paul has had a good year this year. He's had a very good year this year. Melo towards the end of his career wasn't very good. He was okay. He wasn't great. Paul George has had his moments. He's had his moments, but again, few and far between, especially when you're getting hurt or when those moments are happening. Can't stay healthy.
I think his last good year was in OKC.
Yeah, his last great year was in OKC, and he was 3rd in MVP. He was, I think, 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Like, he was fantastic. But watching these guys like try and go out and win a ring and going from team to team to team to team, it's disappointing to see. And obviously, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Paul George retired within the next 3 years, 4 years, just because he can't stay healthy. His body is breaking down. Paul George is 32, 33 years old, maybe even older than that. He's been in the league a long time, and he's already gone through some serious injuries. Obviously, he broke his leg, one of the most gruesome injuries in the history of the sport, and he came back from that, and he's played well. But he hasn't had a great year. He hasn't played a fantastic year. Or hasn't had a fantastic year, and it's hard for me to say that he will ever have one again. So Philadelphia gave him all the money. He went out and got his bag. Will he get a ring? I honestly doubt it.
He's married.
Huh?
Said he's married. He got that one.
He does have that ring. He does have that ring. That's a great point. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it there. I was gonna say something. He is married. So I'm gonna leave it that. But no, it sucks to see that where Paul George is at and how often he is getting hurt. and just the small the small tissue injuries that he's getting, and the soft tissue injuries, excuse me, that he's getting. It's disappointing to see. It's disappointing to see. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to say that.
I think if the organization focused on the youth, then maybe he's playing a little bit less time, and it's not as easy for him to get hurt. Who knows?
Yeah, but even then, how will he be able to win with him playing less time? Because we've seen he's played 4 games this year, and they lost 3 of those or 2 of those already.
I think it's over for Philly this year. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I don't think they make the play-in.
I don't know about that. I think they'll make the play-in.
You do?
I think they'll make the play-in.
Yeah, I don't.
That'll be interesting to see though, because they are so far back. Like they're so.
I think Atlanta's getting better. I think Detroit and Charlotte will play better, and Detroit and Charlotte are not in the play-in right now. Yeah, like Orlando's going to get Paulo back. They're in 3rd place. I think the Knicks will continue to get better, and I think Milwaukee's going to continue to get better. I don't think Miami, unless Jimmy Butler somehow gets hurt. Indiana's been playing terrible. They're still in 8th place. I think Brooklyn is actually pretty good. The only team I really see coming out of there is Chicago.
Yeah, I think Chicago's going to fall. You were high in Atlanta. I'm not. I think Atlanta's going to fall. I don't think that's a very good basketball team.
I don't think they're a good basketball team. I just think they have good defense. And good defense wins games. Like they got a couple young guys over there who can put the basketball in the hoop, and they're gonna win. They're gonna win games. I just don't see with Philly's problems right now, and them not having Joel Embiid in the roster consistently. He's gonna miss another 20 games at least. Yeah. And so now we're almost at 20 games. We're at 15 games, 16 for them actually. 16, so that means they've got 60. Yeah. I don't see it. I don't see them winning. You're saying that he's going to play 40, 45 more games. They've got to win pretty much all of those.
They would. I don't know. I think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna get better. I think it's inevitable, but. Like you said, I just don't know who falls. I think Detroit's going to get better. I think Charlotte's going to either stay put or get better. One of those. I think Atlanta's going to fall. I think Indiana's going to get better. I think Chicago's going to fall. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Back to football for just a moment, though. The Jets were on a bye this week. Although I do think they even lost the bye this week. Reports say they lost the bye game. Like yeah.
How do you do that?
Being the New York Jets is how you do that. But reports say that it would be a shock if Aaron Rodgers returned to the Jets next year. That's interesting. You think it's time to hang it up?
Hang it up. Hang it up.
Okay, so obviously we know what Aaron Rodgers' career has been. He is a Super Bowl winner. He is a Super Bowl MVP. He has 4 MVP awards, regular season MVP awards. He's a multiple-time All-Pro. I think he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. But for this stint in New York with the Jets, what do you think this does to his legacy and or his career?
Nothing. I think what he was trying to do was something similar to what Tommy did. Was show everyone that he was capable outside of the organization that he grew with. And because I'm sure he hears the rumors just like we all do, is that he's a better, he's a more capable quarterback than Tommy was. Tommy didn't quite have the skill set that Aaron Rodgers has. But again, I think there are other facets to your game, other things that build that character that are just actually your skill set. And he wasn't capable. I don't think he doesn't have a way of galvanizing a team besides, amazing, just legendary throws. Besides that, he's honestly a headache in the locker room at times. You hear how he talks outside of the locker room when he's doing his interviews and stuff like that. And I don't think people realize how outside conversations can contribute to chaos in a locker room. And we've witnessed it with him several times. And then, yeah, I just think that it's time for him. I don't think that this is. I don't really honestly think this has done anything to his legacy. He'll be known now the same as he was before. He's Aaron Rodgers. He's a phenomenal thrower of the football. But besides that, he's not the winner that we see in some of these other greats like Patty, like Tommy, like Peyton. I don't know if you put him past Eli. I know that you said you did. I don't know if you put him past Eli.
So, in terms of his career and legacy, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he is the second most talented quarterback to ever play this game of football. To ever play the game of football. Now, I've never met the man personally. But he gives me arrogant dickhead vibes. I'm just going to be completely honest. Now he does. Now, that may not have been the same early in his career or even earlier in his career, but he is, again, to me, he seems arrogant. He seems like he's better than everybody. He seems belittling. He always wants to be the smartest guy in the room. That's off the field. That's off the field. On the field, he is one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play this game. With Tony, you mentioned with the arm angles, with the throws, with the everything that goes into his game. He's won 4 regular season MVPs, deservedly so. He does have a Super Bowl, right? He has a Super Bowl. But I'm in disagreement with you. I think this is a detriment to his career, his stint in New York with the Jets. He has played terrible. Now, last year, of course, he tore his Achilles 4 snaps into the year. But this year, he's actually had the opportunity. And the Jets, he said, go get me Allen Lazard. They go out and get Allen Lazard. Go get Randall Cobb. They go out and get Randall Cobb. Go get Nathaniel Hackett as my offensive coordinator. They got Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. Go get Devontae Adams. They got Devontae Adams. We're seeing a trend here. And the trend is the things that Aaron Rodgers wants doesn't work. It's either that or Aaron Rodgers doesn't work because he's been terrible. He's been terrible. The two quarterbacks prior to him being there, Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold, both have a better winning percentage as a New York Jet than he does.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've seen that stat.
He's supposed to be like he was supposed to be. The Jets are saying, we're a quarterback away. We're a quarterback away. That may be the case, but the Jets organization is terrible. They don't know what they're doing. They go out and get Aaron Rodgers, who is supremely talented and has been supremely talented, but has not translated.
But do you think?
Oh yeah, he's a 40-year-old man.
I was gonna say, do you think like certain people have shown us that they can still get it done at that age? He just doesn't look like he doesn't look the same to me.
No, not at all. Not at all. He can't move. He can't like the way he was able to. This way he was able to make time and make long plays. Like he doesn't do that anymore. That was his specialty. His specialty was rolling out of the pocket, giving time to his receivers to get open. And when they do get open, make those spectacular arm angles and throws to those very receivers. He cannot do that anymore. He is a statue now. He can't move.
Yeah, it reminds me of watching Montana when I was a baby, Young, McNabb, like a lot of those quarterbacks that used to be able to make create space in the pocket. Get outside and, like you said, make time for your receivers to get open. He just doesn't look like the same player. And now, to me, that's the beauty of Tommy. You get the right O-line, you ain't got to go nowhere.
No, honestly, and here's the thing about they're different games. Aaron Rodgers plays a different game than Tom Brady does. The biggest reason, Tom Brady's game is sustainable. It is sustainable. He doesn't move. He's a statue. But the thing is, he gets rid of the ball quickly and he makes right decisions. That playing that sort of game will last you 22 years, in which it did for Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady obviously did it at a much higher level than anybody else has ever had or has ever done.
Hold on, say that again.
I don't hear you.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go.
I don't know what you said.
See, there you go. See, you had your chance. You had your chance. Yeah, you know, and I know you heard me, but I just want to make sure that
These recorded, though. These are recorded, so I can run it back.
Oh, this one's getting deleted. But no, Tom Brady's game is sustainable, and as of right now, he has done it at the highest level that anybody has ever done. Peyton Manning, obviously, he was fancy. He has 5 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls. He did it at a very high level. But those guys' games are sustainable. That's why I don't know if we'll ever see a quarterback play 22 years in the NFL again. I don't know if, again, at the level that Tom Brady did.
You gotta have all the right components, all of them.
You have to, and Aaron Rodgers just doesn't. He just doesn't. You know what? Right now, Tom, if you were to give Aaron Rodgers a ranking in terms of greatest quarterbacks of all time, where would he make your list?
This is tough because I'm sure there's a couple quarterbacks that I'm not going to remember to put on this list. But of the quarterbacks that I've watched, and then honestly, I would likely put Patty over him already.
He's definitely top 10. He's definitely top 10. But again, I think I have. I don't know. I think that's where it gets iffy for me between between Peyton and Eli. But he's definitely no Tommy. He's no Joe. He's not even a Joe to me. Like, he's no Montana. I wouldn't even put him over Steve Young, honestly. Some may differ. But I got Patty over him. He's in between the Manning brothers, I believe. And it's tough because I want to say Eli is better, but Eli definitely couldn't throw the way Eli's one of those quarterbacks that where if he didn't have the defense, Eli likely wouldn't have to.
Yeah, I'm with you. But the biggest reason why I have Aaron Rodgers above Eli is because now, obviously, Eli has 2 Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers 1, but Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs. Eli doesn't have any. And Aaron Rodgers, again, like you said, he's immensely talented. He can make these throws that Eli can't. He can make these throws that a lot of players can't. Tom Brady couldn't make a lot of the throws that Aaron Rodgers made, but Tom Brady is also immensely accurate.
Yeah, I think the conversation starts when you start to talk about like makeup of a quarterback, like leadership qualities, because there's certain aspects of a leader that transition from the locker room, from the meeting rooms to the field, and players galvanize themselves to help you win games. And of course, the quarterbacks get all the credit, but that's part of it. Whether you like to really go there or not, that's part of success. And to me, Aaron Rodgers has taken away from some team's success, from his own level of success when he does certain things, like just even this off-field conversations. Like, the other players have to hear that, and yeah, it doesn't always contribute to wins.
No, definitely not. That's one thing that Aaron Rodgers obviously didn't do a lot of. Like I said, he has won a Super Bowl, but the rest of his career, I think he's 500 in the playoffs. I'd have to look that up, but I think he has a 500 record in the playoffs. So it's what he's done in New York has been obviously ridiculously disappointing, but we'll see what happens. It doesn't look like he's going to be a Jet next year, and we'll see if he hangs it up or decides to go play elsewhere. I don't know who would want him, but it'll be interesting to see what he does. But We haven't talked about this guy too much, and I thought we'd bring him up a little bit. Deion Sanders, obviously the head coach at Colorado. They lost this weekend. Good thing. Yes, I'm very happy that they lost. Not because I don't like Deion. I love Deion.
Yeah, no, I was doing a Deion dance, a little.
Oh, the shuffle.
Yeah,
but
I would never be happy that they lost. Should I seen that hit on
Shador?
Sure, that looked. Yeah. Somebody said that man, the man that hit him, need to be put in jail. I agree. That looked crazy.
That's nasty work. Okay, now that hit was crazy, but okay. But also, I do want to state, I'm not rooting against Colorado because I don't like Deion or don't like Shador. I'm rooting against Colorado. I'm rooting against Colorado because it would be beneficial to my team, ASU. That's the only reason why I'm rooting them. So they lost this weekend, and ASU won. So that the titles of ASU getting to that Big 12 championship game have just skyrocketed. Love to see that. But excuse me, we've seen what's going on in Dallas with the Cowboys, and they've been terrible. Obviously, Deion played for the Cowboys, won a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. But there's been some chirping. There's been some chirping that obviously the Cowboys will, not obviously, but most likely they will be getting a new head coach this year, and they will also be having a pretty good draft pick. Michael Irvin was asked on the Herd, on Colin Cowherd show, if the Cowboys were to draft Shador, would he take that head coaching job with the Cowboys? Michael Irvin said absolutely. Somebody who was very close to Deion. Now, Deion has reiterated and said that, no, I'm happy here. I want to coach Colorado. Our future is bright. They did just sign the second best player in the world, or the second best high school player in the nation, in Julian Lewis, that 5-star quarterback. But Tone, let me ask you, if that opportunity were to become available to Deion Sanders, do you think he would take that job to go coach the Cowboys and coach his son once again?
I'd have to say yes. I think that it's his responsibility to Colorado to say what he said. That's great leadership right there, to separate yourself from leaving. You still want to galvanize your troops. So I think he did the right thing in saying, like, that's something that you can speak to behind closed doors, whether it be Jerry or anybody else that you need to talk to about making that leap. But I do think it would also be a good look for everyone involved. I think it would be a moneymaker for Dallas to have one of the best to ever do it at his position, as in the head coach position. I think you can obviously see he's a good leader. He's a great leader. And then if they're going to actually go out of their way, it's the Cowboys organization, if they're going to go out of their way to draft his son, why not have, like, he's got that connection with them already. So why not follow him? I think it'd be a good look. It would, they probably the most viewed team all season for however long he's there. And I'd assume that, Jerry would give him whatever he wants. They definitely need another voice within that organization. And I think if it's got to be, think about all of the players that have done historical things for the Cowboys, who's more fit to tell Jerry, shut the F up and get this done?
See, that's an interesting point. That is a very interesting point, because I was actually going to bring that same point up, because Jerry, the same things I was just saying about Aaron Rodgers, a lot of those things I think can also relate to Jerry Jones in terms of being arrogant, wanting to be the smartest guy in the room, and thinking that they are the smartest guy in the room, and just thinking that and belittling everybody. Jerry Jones already had a moment. He was on the radio show. He was on his weekly radio show, and he was telling these guys, I'll have your jobs taken away from you right now. First of all, he had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with their jobs. He even if he wanted them fired, he couldn't get them fired. So
he'll buy the whole show.
He could probably buy the whole show. Now it's whether or not that they wanted to sell him the whole show. But he's belittling. He's arrogant. He's and when it comes to football, he thinks he knows football. Again, I don't want to act like I played football and I play football at a high level and I know football. I've been watching. I watched a lot of football and I've studied football. Some of the things he says are just not accurate. Not accurate. It is what it is.
Some of the things.
You're right. Probably about 75-80% of the things he says are just gibberish. But here's the thing with Jerry. Here's the thing about Jerry. He does not want to be outshined. He does not want to be outshined. He refuses to be outshined. That's why he went out and got Jason Garrett as a head coach. A yes man. That's why he went out and got Mike McCarthy as a head coach. A yes man. And what has that led to? They have not won a Super Bowl in 30 years. They have not been to a championship game in 30 years. They have had zero success when it comes to being competitive in the playoffs. Now, yeah, they've made the playoffs. They've had some 13-3 years. They've had some 14-2 years. They've had some 12-4 years that have led to nothing, zero, nada. Because Jerry Jones wants the credit. Jerry Jones went and fired Jimmy Johnson, the guy who won them 3 Super Bowls, because he was getting all of the credit. He did that. What have they done since? What have they done since?
Nada.
Nothing. Just like Tony said, nada. It doesn't make sense why. And if you look at it, Clark Hunt, the Chiefs owner, I don't even think people know who he is, because he lets the general managers do what they need to do, and he lets the head coaches do what they need to do. It just is. The Baltimore Ravens owner, I don't know him. Probably because he lets the general manager do what he needs to do and the head coach do what he needs to do. These teams who are successful, they have guys in place in order to make things happen.
You can mention the Patriots owner. It's okay.
Robert Kraft, also somebody who just got slighted again. Should be. I don't know why he's not in the NFL Football Hall of Fame, but he should be. Doesn't make any sense. Robert Kraft, put people in their places so they can do their jobs at a high level and not micromanage them. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense what Jerry is doing.
Speaking of making sense, I do think that's another reason why Jerry might want to do it, though. Like you said, he does love yes men. He loves people that listen to him. But when it makes money, when it makes them dollars and them cents, Jerry's thinking about it.
Absolutely. And that is a move that would make them a lot of dollars. Now, wins? Maybe, maybe not. Shador is a very good player, and I think he is going to be successful. But Jerry, refuses to be outshined. That's why I don't think Bill Belichick will ever be a coach for the Dallas Cowboys, because Bill Belichick likes to buy the ingredients and also use those same ingredients to cook. That's what worked for him in New England. And Jerry's not going to let him do that, because Jerry wants to buy the ingredients so that he gets credit for the meal that is cooked. It doesn't make sense.
And he's a bad chef.
He's a terrible chef. My God, he's a terrible chef. Imagine what Gordon Ramsay would say to him. But
shout out Cutler was over there though. Jalen Brooks with a big catch yesterday.
He did right at the end of the second half. Jalen Brooks made a very big catch. That was a tough catch too. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like it's Jerry Jones, like the Cowboys will not be successful until Jerry Jones is out of that spot that he's in right now. I don't know how they're going to get him out of that spot, but somehow, some way they got to. Also, I did want to, just took a peep at the comments. Lou Big Arm said the Lakers winning the chip this year.
Come on, Lou. Lou, cut it out, Lou. Don't do that, Lou. He did that on purpose. That's my guy. Shout out my man L.U. Easy. That's my guy. Man, you tripping. Tripping. I'll be talking like that.
He said, shout out to my Cowboys as well.
Yeah, he did that on purpose because we're talking about his Cowboys, man.
Nasty
You've
work.
been a Cowboys fan for a long time. He loved the Lakers. He went to watch Kobe and them guys the last time they was in the Garden. That's my guy, man.
Hey, shout out, my boy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
But yeah, he's blasphemous.
Yeah, that's and it's not Sunday. Yesterday was Sunday, but I do want to preach out. I do also want to make a point that lying is a sin. I did want to point that out.
And Lou's a man of faith, man. Come on, Lou. Come on, broski.
Come on, you can't be putting that out in the world like
and
that.
The crazy thing is, you know what? Lou was mad when LeBron joined the Lakers. He was not a fan of that. But then when they won the championships, I think his emotions swayed a little bit.
I think a lot of people were upset when LeBron, it was a lot more people that were upset than I thought would be when LeBron joined the Lakers. Like, it's a lot more.
I think because he comes with a little bit of baggage. Like when you look at the Bronny's type situation and stuff like that, it comes with a little bit of baggage. But that's what happens when you're that great.
It does, and he did win them a ring. Now, has he had any much other success other than that?
Nope, just all selfish ones, bunch of accolades. Bunch of accolades. Then they can't win the game when the accolade actually happens.
And for whatever reason, every time he has an opportunity to reach an accolade, they're playing Denver.
That's true. That's true.
And well, we know what Denver does to him.
But I will say that I think it'd be dope because we never got to see Braun versus Kobe. I've yet to see. Well, I shouldn't say yet to see. I did see. I seen Paul Pierce and those guys play the Lakers. But I think it'd be dope for this generation to see Lakers Celtics. I know that wouldn't be something that you want to see because I know you're anxious to see your boys in the.
Yeah, I don't want to see Lakers Celtics. Like, I absolutely not, because one, I think the Celtics would wipe the floor with the Lakers. They would just get the mop out and just use the rest of LeBron's hair to mop the floor.
Ooh, that's a soggy floor because there's not a lot of hair.
And Lou said he's still not a Bron fan, but he's a Laker at heart. Yeah. Nasty work still. That's all right. We were just talking about the other day. Steve Nash has 2 MVPs to Kobe's 1. So I do want to point that out.
Yeah. You just lost. Lou's about to sign out. Lou's out of here.
My bad. I shouldn't have mentioned that.
Lou on lunch, like, yeah, time to go back to work.
That's on me. That's my bad. That wasn't necessary for me to say. That wasn't necessary. My bad. My
apologies.
God rest his soul. But my bad. Hey, see, sometimes I just say stuff and it just spits out. I can't control it. My fault.
Fandom does that.
Lastly, I did want to. You kind of brought it up the other day. We were talking about it. Russell Westbrook has reached 200 triple doubles, the first ever NBA player to do such thing. In terms of all-time point guards, where do you think Russell Westbrook ranks?
Man, for me,
the
players. This is tough for me. I ain't gonna lie, Russell top 5, man, and that's definitely a little biased. There's a little bias. I just love the way he attacks the game. You can see it just from the pregame, the way he's vibing, and he's all in the music. It's just an onslaught of momentum. Like he's got the energy that you want to see from your favorite player. And I will say that sometimes the energy doesn't work out. When he's shooting 2 for 12s and stuff like that. But the crazy thing is he can go 2 for 12, 3 for 15 instead of a triple double because he does other things to try to win the game. And that's what's dope. That's what you appreciate from Russ, is it's not all about points for him. Yeah, sometimes he has a couple extra turnovers, but as a teammate, you love it because he's trying to get you the basketball. Um, I love Rusty's heart. I love his passion for the game. The fact that he has been able to contribute in different ways. Where, everyone's shooting a three ball now. He's been able to have success. I do think that he's been overshadowed, and it'll be interesting to hear these conversations when he does finally retire, and he's top whatever it is, top 100 players to ever play the game. It'll be interesting to see where everyone else, all of the the big name guys who are doing what we do, how they talk about him. He's a phenomenal player though. Watching him change the game has been I've enjoyed it. I love his passion, man. I love when he does the small things. I'll never forget the play where he whispered to Steven Adams where he was going to be at after, and he basically was telling Steven Adams to miss the free throw and hit the basketball back. And Rusty's not known as a 3-point shooter, but Rusty just knew. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna tie this game up, or whatever it was, take the lead. Like, Rusty's that type of dude. He's always got the confidence in himself to get it done. And you appreciate that when you're a fan of somebody. You don't want your best player, one of your favorite players, to get nervous, to not have that level of confidence. And Rusty has it still to this day.
Yeah, I'll say you can say a lot of things about Russell Westbrook. You can say, and it's things that I don't agree with, but things that I've heard, right? Things that I've, people have called him stat patter, inefficient, turnover machine. But things you can also tell him, or you can also say about him, that he can score the ball. He's one of the best rebounding guards of all time. He can absolutely pass the ball. One thing that is indisputable about Russell Westbrook, is he plays hard every single night. He gives you 100% every single night, whether he's 33, 34 years old, or whether he's 25, 26 years old. He will give you everything he has on every single night. There's a lot of players, we talked about one of them earlier, that will not do that. That will absolutely not do that every single night. Russell Westbrook plays his every time you look at him, he's breathing hard. He's diving on the floor for a loose ball. He's getting those 50-50 balls. He's rebounding the ball. He's doing anything in order for his team to win. Obviously, Russell Westbrook has never won an NBA championship, but he won an MVP, and he is the only person, obviously, to reach 200 triple doubles, but he's also the only person to average a triple double since Oscar Robertson, which was 50 plus years ago. And he averaged 30, 10, and 10. And then he went to Washington and he averaged 25, 12 and 11 or something like that. He's done it multiple times because he does everything. He may not be the most efficient basketball player in the world. He may not be the most secure basketball player in terms of not turning the ball over. He's always turned the ball over. He's always, put up a lot of shots and maybe not exactly been the most efficient. But again, he makes plays and he plays harder than anybody else on the floor. He works harder than anybody else on the floor. He is one of those guys in which you pay him and that just motivates him to work that much harder. Like I said, there are guys who you pay, you give money to, and they get worse because they are satisfied. They're complacent with the money that they're making. Russell Westbrook has never been that. He will never be that. He will always play his heart out for whatever team he may be playing for. And so that's one thing that I will always give Russell Westbrook. In terms of where I would put him in the all-time point guards, he's absolutely top 10. He's absolutely top 10. And I think if you don't have Russell Westbrook in the top 10 point guards of all time, we need to have a discussion whether or not you are ever allowed to watch basketball again.
Yeah, his game will. Anyone who's watched him, you'd have to call his game unforgettable. Like, you can't forget the way and the style that he plays. Like, he leaves a mark on the game, which is dope. No matter how what other things that you want to disagree with his style of play, but he leaves a mark on the game, which is dope, man. Rusty, I'm biased about Rondo. Someone asked me who's better, Rondo or Chris Paul. I'm gonna go Rondo. Now I understand Chris Paul's skill set. To me, it's like a conversation between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. You might say, "Oh, boy got an ill skill set. He's capable of doing things that Rondo might not." But when it comes to careers, I'm going Doe. Doe got chips, 2 different places. Doe led his team in dimes several years. Doe did what it takes to win. If you ask me the same conversation about Russie and Doe, I gotta go Russie. And
I thought you were gonna say Rondo. Oh
no,
my god.
no.
Oh my
That's where my
goodness, I thought
bias
you
will
were gonna say
stop.
Rondo.
That's where my bias will stop. Russie's the man. Russie, one of my favorite quarterbacks. I mean, quarterbacks. He is a quarterback on the floor. One of my favorite point guards of all time. He's one of my favorite players. He's actually on my team as we speak right now. My starting point guard.
Hold on. Let's hold. There's a few things I would like to mention. First of all, this is wild.
Hey, hold on. Yo, what's going on, Lou? Yeah. Hold on. Let me turn my hat, Lou, for this comment, since you want to talk about my boys like that. What's y'all's record right now? What's y'all's record right now, Lou? Huh? Because matter of fact, let me confirm that y'all are where in the West? Y'all are 4th in the West. 4th. You know where we're at, Lou? We're number 2. And only to the undefeated team, well, once undefeated team, previously undefeated until we smacked the dog out of them. You're right, though. We do shoot a lot of threes, but you know what else we're doing? We about to change the game. We're about to make the most 3-pointers in NBA history. NBA, you talking about you had the Splash Brothers, you had all type of teams doing things. Yeah, I know where you work. You get to tell me. I be seeing the post. I be like, damn, Lou, when I come to town, you need to get me up in there. I know where you work. And I'll be home for Christmas just in case you want to give me a Christmas present. I'll be there. But you about to break the record. Not the Lakers. The Celtics. Should have get that off my chest real quick, Lou. Appreciate you. Whoa. The West is stronger. Ain't my fault. Take your team and put them in the East Coast then. That ain't my fault. You play who you play. You play who you play. We can't change that.
All right, and before I take off on the last one, that is none of my business. That is none of my business. Listen, hey Lou. All I know is Steve Nash got that MVP award on his mantle. That's what I know.
Lou, I can support you with that. Me and this guy had a long conversation about this the other day, and you pause. You're never gonna break him. You're never gonna break this dude. Is a diehard. He a diehard Suns fan. Like you a diehard Laker fan.
That is the steal. Hey, steal, deal, real. Steve Nash won that MVP. That's all I'm saying.
Ask him who was better that year, though, Lou. Ask him. Put that in the comments. I want to see how.
I couldn't tell. Who won MVP?
Yes, but who performed better? Go look at personal statistics from that year.
Steve Nash won MVP.
That's sad.
See, there you go. Kobe cheating. Kobe was cheating. The Suns were gonna go win. The Suns were gonna go win the championship. You got to break it, people know.
And Kobe dunked on him something nasty. Leaner. Highlight.
That's why Kobe needed Shaq.
Wow. Hold on.
I ain't mean to get personal. Kobe
got 2 without Shaq, though.
Pau Gasol wasn't one of the best bigs in the league.
He might have been, but how many Nash get?
Might have been what?
Didn't Nash Didn't Nash go to the Lakers after that to try to get one?
Kobe was terrible.
I got your back, Lou. I'm a Celtics guy. I got your back, Lou.
See, that's nasty work. You should never. You as a Celtics fan, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself defending the Lakers.
That anybody who watched the game of basketball, like that needs to be. They need to do a documentary on how the hell Steve Nash won that MVP. I ain't gonna lie. Like, cheers to Nash. He had a hell of a year. He had the Suns in
Damn right he did.
But how the hell did Kobe was doing numbers? Was doing nothing. If you watch Kobe perform in that year, like they have highlight clips on YouTube of Kobe's season, and Nash it's not the same. It's not. It's a head scratcher. That's why we need a documentary.
Yeah, you gonna keep scratching that head because
NBA.
Steve Nash got 2 MVP.
How the hell Nash won the MVP that year?
None of my business.
The league.
None of my business. He said we had Amari and didn't do nothing. Amari's not Shaq, Lou. Amari ain't Shaq.
You
know
were just
that.
telling me Amari's a top 10 power forward.
Who said that?
You.
No, I ain't say that.
That's not what you said?
No, I said we was comparing him to somebody. I forget who.
Rasheed
but we was
Wallace.
comparing him to somebody. Huh?
Rasheed Wallace.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking Amari over Rasheed. I'm definitely taking Amari over Rasheed.
We were doing top 10. We had KG, Timmy, Giannis, Dirk. Yeah, we got down the list. And then I was saying like Rasheed Wallace, and you was like, nah, Amari's in there.
I'm taking Amari over Rasheed any day of the week.
Damn, so Steve Nash couldn't win a chip with a top 10 power forward. Shame on him.
Hold on. Lou agree. He said he should be top 10. Hey, hold on real quick. Because I'm not letting this the CP3 hate needs to stop. It needs to stop immediately.
Talk about Lou, got my back.
Immediately. CP3 over Rondo is insane. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself for that take.
Floppers in the history of floppage. Like,
that ain't none of my business. He is better. What did Rondo do ever on it by himself?
Won a championship.
Ooh.
That's why we was the big four because of Rondo.
Yeah, he was the big four because of Tony Allen. I'd take Tony Allen over.
Disrespect.
Trash ass Rondo.
CP3.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Those son gonna be better than CP3 son.
Who?
Rondo's son gonna be better than CP3.
I don't give no damn about them kids.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, listen. All I know is CP3 is better than Rondo.
Nope, not gonna happen. Whose career would you have if you could just magically snap your fingers? Whose career would you want to have?
Chris Paul.
Terrible. Wow. I'm drinking champagne. I'm drinking champagne and confetti.
Hey. Okay. Okay. So what career would you rather have? Russell Westbrook or Rajon Rondo?
See, that's the only. I told you that.
No. See, there you go. That wasn't the question.
25 plus triple doubles, though. That's the only. That's where fandom stops.
But you just told me I'm taking champagne and confetti. Russell Westbrook ain't seen champagne and confetti unless it's his birthday. He ain't seen no champagne and confetti.
Accolades,
huh?
Give me Chris Paul's accolades that might make me rethink this.
He's number 2 all time in steals. He's top 10 in assists. He's taken his team by himself to the Western Conference Finals. He's been to the NBA Finals. He's won 2 games in the NBA Finals.
I'm waiting for the interesting ones.
He's been to the conference finals more than 3 times. These accolades I'm mentioning are better than Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook averaged. He just had his 200th triple double. He stands alone.
How many times had he been to the finals?
Twice.
Conference final. No. Just once.
Once. My bad.
Conference finals. Twice. Chris Paul's been there 3 times.
Yeah, but okay. There's a laundry list of players that could speak to those accolades.
Third all time in steals.
Alone. There's a difference. When you stand alone, you're on the mountain, you're on the top of the mountain doing this.
You know who won? You know who won on top of no damn mountain? Rajon Rondo. He was in the backpack. He was in the backpack of Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce.
How many players you know?
You know the big backpacks. You know the big climbing backpacks, the mountain backpacks, where you got a bunch of pockets.
That's crazy.
You know the small ones they got for little water bottles that are like this big. That's what Rondo was.
You know, that's what Rondo was for the Celtics and the Lakers.
Rondo was in the side pocket of the big mountain backpacks.
How many players do you know that have championships with the Celtics and the Lakers?
I was getting more minutes than Rajon Rondo with that championship with the Lakers.
Doe had big games for the Lakers.
He had a big game for the Lakers.
Hey, you know who never had that got a chance to have a big game? in the championship?
Don't tell me Chris Paul, because Chris Paul had 30 in game 1.
Didn't matter.
No, because Rondo didn't know. But you mean it don't matter? What you mean it didn't matter?
30's a big game. You know who had 30 game 5 last year? The man you like.
There you go. Who was talking about Jason Tatum? See, there you go. We was talking about Rondo and Chris Paul. See, there you go.
30's a big game. I just wanted to reiterate that 30's
See, there you go. See, there you go.
Just wanted to do that.
See, there you go. Lou said CP3 would have won a chip if he went to the Lakers. He absolutely would have.
Yeah, who's that? David Stern? David Stern said, "Don't you know no good? Don't you know no good? Don't you know no good?"
Yeah, hey, he was at the right place at the right time because he wasn't doing nothing.
That says good PG. That should say great PG, Lou.
It should say okay PG. That's what it should say. It should say okay. Chris Paul is a top 10 point guard of all time. Rondo just ain't. He just is not.
You gotta go look at Doe, man. Doe dislocated his arm on a steal, still got the steal, and then popped the joint back into place and finished the game. You ain't never seen Chris Paul.
He might have been better. He might have been better with his arm dislocated.
On the nose.
He might have been better with his arm dislocated.
And Rondo said, hold this, Chris Paul.
No, see that? Yeah, Rondo spitting in people. What man you know spitting people's faces? What man you know spitting people's faces, Tone? You spitting in somebody's face like that?
Yeah, that's when you feel disrespected. Sometimes you gotta give him a piece of you.
Oh, see, there you go. See you know that's the ultimate disrespect, spitting in somebody's. Rondo, hey, you know.
First of all, he said he was just talking, and then it just happened that you know when you're talking, you're energetic, and a little saliva comes out. That's what happened. But Chris Paul took it offensive and then tried to put his finger on his forehead, and that's when Doe was like,
because Chris Paul let him know who's big balls, big dog.
That's why Doe gave him the 5 fist of fury.
Oh, see there y'all Boston boys go. See there y'all go.
Yeah,
there y'all go.
Yeah,
there y'all go.
See, Luke know what I'm talking about. When I talk about is a little bit of character that you get from the towns, and Doe always
nasty
about the character.
That's nasty.
He was the one that Doe used to wear them shirts that said "fuck LeBron."
See, y'all ain't no good. And LeBron owned y'all. Just want to point that out.
That's crazy. Now, to say that, right? He won a couple games, but we used to bust LeBron's ass.
Used to. LeBron been busting y'all ass for a whole
That's why he went to Miami. That's why he went to Miami. He couldn't get past.
And what did he do in Miami? What did he do in Miami?
Yeah, he smacked up on us a couple times.
Bust y'all ass.
All but right, that's I think it's time for us to go, everyone. It was been good.
You know what? It is indeed for us to close the show out. Appreciate everybody who's watching.
Shout out my guy Lou, man.
Huge shout out to Lou, man. He commented and just giving us yeah. I've never met you, but those takes with the Rondo and the CP3 and the little questionable, my brother.
That's my guy. That's my guy. You can ask him about the clip, the one-hand bandit. He knows I'll be at his park. That's where I started killing, doing work up at Lou's Park, man. The one hand. Yeah, shout out LU Easy. Yo, Maul ain't posted the video for y'all yet, but it's coming soon, man.
It's coming soon. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
For some reason, this video is taking the longest to get posted. I don't know what's going on.
No, hey, I promise it's gonna get posted. I promise.
I have to share with everybody else before it just goes missing and he loses it.
Yeah, I might have to delete that one. That one's gonna get posted on the other channel. But appreciate y'all for watching. Yeah, shout out Lou for sure. But that's gonna close it out. We will be back tomorrow. And as always, dang, I gotta memorize this sometime. I gotta memorize this outro eventually. But as always, don't forget you are amazing, you are beautiful, you matter. I love you. I'm proud of you. I always remember it's nice to be important, but it's even more important to be nice. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.